Harry Kane to Bayern Munich. Is it any closer after the German club sent their delegation over to London to speak to Daniel Levy and the rest of Tottenham's representatives? We're going to be talking about that major transfer, how that could affect Tottenham. Is it the right move for him? And will it happen? Because we're also hearing more news about Harry Kane as well today. We'll get right into that. Also, we'll talk about the potential Dusan Vlahovic swap with Lukaku for Juventus and Chelsea. Is that a good move for Chelsea? As they're currently discussing that internally. We're going to be talking about Romeo Lavia as Liverpool are prepared to make a third bid for the Belgian international. And we've also got breaking news for Arsenal fans to discuss as well. Tereak talking transfers. We're here, people. And as Martin Tyler would say, we are live. Wagwan, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Tereak Talks. Hope you're all keeping well, people. Hope you've all had a fantastic start to the week so far. Monday was yesterday, so now it's Tuesday. Pinch, punch, first of the month. Hope you're all having a fantastic start to August. As we are what now? Just over a week away until the Premier League is back. Burnley versus Manchester City kicking that off. Big up to each and every one of you in the TTF that are in the Discord server. I did release a content calendar on there, and I'm looking something that I'm going to be producing and putting out on YouTube as well on a weekly basis. So I'll be putting that in a community post. Check that out on Sunday if you want to know and want to be kept up to date with everything that's happening here on Tereak Talks. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you do not miss a stream. We've got plenty coming up. Next week's going to be hectic. We've got plenty of streams coming up this week as well. But, you know, predictions and everything, everything like that. Preview show will be returning. Guys, I know you are looking forward to that. That means there will be a forfeit for the loser. Guys, tune in and you'll find out who is the loser there. And we are also doing giveaways too. So we'll be bringing you more updates on that next week. So guys, please, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. You want to be a part of this channel, this community that I'm proud to have. I know it's a small one at this moment in time, and I do have dreams of it getting bigger, but you guys are amazing. And I love doing this, why I love jumping on stream and talking football. We talk much more of the things as well when the watch-alongs happen. So they will also be returning next week. So just really looking forward to the season. But you are tuning in for Transfer Talk. Before we get into that, I just want to big up each and every one of you that are here watching live right now. We've got Peony Weed in the building saying live in 30 minutes, but maybe 35 or possibly 40. You know what do, people? Run on Black Man time. Yeah, so I'm only a minute late. It's 5 minutes in with 3 minutes. Yeah, but 1-2 minutes at the most. That's quite good. Over here in Tereak Talk. So yeah, big up yourself, Peony. Hope you're keeping well. Big up Patrick as well, Crystal Palace fan, saying big up T. Hope you're keeping good. Hope you're keeping well. Mr. Paxton bringing in breaking news right here. Legendary Italian goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon has decided to retire from professional football. It will be official in the next days. Buffon, 45 years old, was playing for Parma last, and that was the club where he came through and made his name. One of the best goalkeepers in certainly throughout most of our lifetimes. So I'm happy to say, well, I'm quite comfortable in saying one of the best goalkeepers to play the game. One thing that was that was a cloud hanging over, naming him as the best potentially, was not winning that Champions League, but his heroics for Italy in the 2006 World Cup, puts him up there as one of the greatest to play the game. At 45 as well, the longevity that he had throughout his career was phenomenal, playing for top clubs. Just off the top of my head, Juventus, Parma, PSG towards the latter end of his career. And who else does he play for? Guys, that's for you to let me know in the chat. So yeah, we'll be talking about all those transfers. And thank you for Paxton for bringing this breaking news. Big up G Staffy in the building saying hello, hello. Also got something towards the end, so stay tuned. I'll give you plenty more updates of what's coming up on the channel for next week. And there's something that G Staffy's helped set up in the Discord. If you haven't done so already, the link in the link to join the Discord is in the description. Get jumping in there, people. We've got a great community here. So big up yourself, G Staffy. Breaking news. I broke something, says Peony. We're gonna breaking everything today. Breaking news, breaking Peony. What have you broke, Peony? Have you actually broke something? Have you? If you have, I hope it's not anything to do with on your body. I hope it's to do. I mean, it's not great breaking anything, but yeah. Unless, yeah, we're going down a different path here. Yeah, there's probably good things to break, but never break a promise. That was so cringe. Only a minute late. We're living good. This time we're living good. Exactly. Pretty impressive packs, but can he keep it up? I wouldn't hold your breath. Big up Casey in the building saying, guess who's back? Casey's back. Tell a friend. Hope you're keeping good. G Staffy, thank you for popping in that link to the Discord there. Nav in the building. Man like Tereak, what's good, bro? You going to the game tomorrow? Big up my bro Nav. Unfortunately, I am not going to the game. It's in a midweek. I was actually meant to get back in terms of Peony about this, but I didn't realize it was a midweek game as well. So unfortunately, no, I'm not going to be at the game, my bro. Are you? Let me know if you are going to the game, of course. But yeah, I hope you're keeping good. I will be doing a reaction show to the game, so not what we're doing a watch along either. I'm sorry. The watch-alongs bring in the bread subwise. Let's go. Exactly. I didn't get to do them a lot last year for whatever reason. For mainly didn't have the time, work and everything. But now I've got a lot more free time. So there you go. I knew that was going to come in the chat. Big up yourself, Mange, in the building as well. What's your score prediction for the dinner plate game against City on Sunday? Oh, we'll be doing a preview show into that on Friday. I've got it all planned out. I've got it all planned out. So now big up yourself, man. And big up Mark in the building as well. He's going to the game versus Lons. Big up, man. Hope you have a good experience and a good time. Where is the game against Lons? Is it still in America, or have you come back? Have you gone somewhere else? Let me know, my bro. But I hope you're good, G. So you and Peony are going to the game together with Alpha Dan. Hey, big up the TGT community right there, too. So now I hope you have a good one. I hope Arsenal put on a show. Peony was at the last preseason game that we had in the Emirates Cup against Sofia. 6-0, maybe he's going to be bringing you. So if he's going to be following that and carrying on those good omens, maybe it will be another high-scoring game for the Arsenal. Big up my brother Wilf in the building too, who's just recovering from an operation. But people, there's the welcomes, there's the introductions. Get strapped in. Pause. I thought about it and I still said it. That's why there was a little stutter there. I shouldn't have done it. People are going to be clipping me up for that. But yeah, hit that like button as we are about to talk about the first big major news that you can see on the thumbnail, and it's to do with Harry Kane. I also do know that there is breaking news surrounding Arsenal. I will touch upon that. It's breaking news in terms of it's a development, but yeah, I'll get into it later. But Harry Kane, despite the gap in valuation, I'm kind of jumping ahead here. Bayern Munich and Tottenham met yesterday in London to try and try and get this agreement for Harry Kane. However, there is a 20 to 25 million euro gap in their valuation between the two clubs. Bayern Munich offered 80, and Tottenham 100. Yeah, don't know what I'm thinking about. Like, generally, you got something popping in your head and you go elsewhere. And Tottenham want 100, around 100 million pounds, euros, in that sort of ballpark. So they're not quite close to an agreement yet. However, Fabrizio Romano reported today, despite the gap in valuation after the face-to-face meeting on Monday, Bayern will insist on Harry Kane deal as they still feel confident. And that's what we've been hearing around the camp of the Bundesliga champions. The dominance that they have on that league is ridiculous. And adding in Harry Kane will only further strengthen their grip on that dominance and be that continue pushing them towards being the favourites for the Bundesliga once again. Also taking them back to being the favourites and one of the big competitors for the Champions League, where Bayern want to be, and want to avenge them, avenge that humiliating exit to Manchester City last season. I want to be able to compete with sort of the biggest teams in Europe, and Harry Kane will be able to do that. So we've been hearing about a lot of their confidence as Bayern want to bid again and go closer to that 100 million euro package for Kane. And Fabrizio also added here, which we'll link on with the Arsenal news later about David Raya, this is why they don't want to spend big on a new goalkeeper. So this is why they're looking at David De Gea, trying to save money in other positions so they can prioritize on Harry Kane. If Bayern are so confident as they are pushing out to the public and as they're putting out to the media, then surely this is just a matter of time until they decide to put up that 100 million euro package or something really close to that to make Spurs consider. That's the only reason I'd believe why they'd be so confident. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Do you think Harry Kane will leave? Do you think he will go to Bayern Munich? As they certainly do think he will. And they certainly think he will. But for me, I don't. I don't think so, because Tottenham are very difficult to deal with. Anyway, Daniel Levy throughout the years with Harry Kane saga, with him at Manchester City, with the Gareth Bale situation, though all those years back, Real Madrid had to pay on the last days of the window, having to sell one of their key assets in Mesut Ozil to go to Arsenal to make room financially and in the squad for Kane. It's going to be really difficult, and I just don't see the money being bandied around like that in Europe. With Bayern making a few signings, they've still got other areas such as the goalkeeper to really work on. This is certainly a priority. Moving Sadio Mane out, does that creates that room, frees up the salary for him, because he will be on big money, of course, of a player of his caliber, arguably one of the best strikers in the world, in my opinion, all-round game, the best striker in the world. It's hard saying that because he's a Tottenham player. I actually would want him to leave and get out of this league so he'd stop scoring penalties against us. But yeah, I feel like Tottenham are going to be holding out, and the later this goes on into the window, I think Tottenham may even increase that value. It wouldn't be something that is a shock in terms of how Daniel Levy operates. The later it goes on, the more likely he's going to say, well, it's going to be harder for us to find a replacement. Give us 10 million more, please. That's the type of way he deals. And Daniel Levy probably already has this in the back of his mind. He's saying, yeah, well, here we are. I know I'm never going to accept. I'm going to lead them down this garden path to make them believe that there is a real opportunity. And then what will happen is, no, sorry, we can't sell him for 100 million anymore, or just under that, because it's too late for us to go and sign a replacement. We are hearing rumours that they are interested in the likes of Brennan Johnson at Nottingham Forest, Gift Orban, who's had a really good season out in the Belgian league. Is it playing for Genk or is it Ghent? One of them. Paxton will let me know. And I think there was another name that they were linked with. Yeah, so it was Gift Orban. Kolo Muani's also been linked there, but that's about 100 million for him. And I don't think you're replacing Kane's quality of 100 with Kolo Muani, with everything that Kane offers, with the guaranteed goals that he's going to give you. I don't think Kolo Muani certainly does that at Spurs. And yeah, so I don't really see that being a great fit. And Spurs definitely need to add more quality in their defense, for example. And then if they do replace Kane, they're going to need to have a striker come in. So the 100 million for Kane later on in the window won't really suffice, and it won't be good enough to compensate them for the loss so late on into the window, in replacing him, and getting working on other areas of the team elsewhere. Maybe it will free up some wages, which is for Premier League clubs. That's the most important. I know I've just harped on for ages about the transfer fee and those things, but wages is what's really is why clubs are in financial problems. If you are paying players Champions League level wages and you're not in the Champions League, that and you don't get that sorted within those 3 years, that's when financial fair play will start to become a problem. That's why Arsenal cancelled the contracts of Mesut Ozil, Socrates, Guendouzi, these types of players that we brought in to try and get us back in the Champions League instantly. We didn't. And that was it was a black hole within the club and preventing us from making transfers. Harry Kane, I don't know how much wages he's on, but he's certainly going to be their top earner. They're not a Champions League club. He's going to be on Champions League wages. Tottenham have genuinely worked quite well with their wages, not necessarily their transfers. So getting him off the books will able to, they will be able to invest a lot more in transfer fees because they'll save money there. Most transfer fees nowadays aren't paid as in full. They're paid in that Klarna method of installments over a certain amount of period, 3 to 5 years, typically, with heavily incentivized add-ons, etc. in there. And so are the wages too. When you qualify for the Champions League, you'll generally get a pay increase or a bonus too, on top of that. So it will be interesting. If they do get rid of him, they'll be able to balance out their squad more. But the later it goes on into the window, the more of a problem that becomes. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think he'll leave. I think he will stay. If I was to put my money on it, if I was to hedge my bets, I think he'll stay. But I want to hear what you guys think in the chat about this Kane situation. I'm just going to have a look in here with the first person talking about. Big up UV in the building too. Hope you're keeping well. Everyone that's locked in, if I haven't said hello to you already, big up yourself. Smash that like button on your way in, guys. It's just common courtesy when you step into someone's house, when you step into their yard, you take off your shoes, or you at least go to do so. And if they tell you no, that's fine. I'm not telling you no, it's fine. Take your shoes off by leaving that like button, by hitting that like button, and however you want to do it, caress it, smash it, whatever. Pause again. Look, Manji's already pausing me. Hey yo, Harry Kane is not news. Kane for United, says Casey. That's a lot of hope there. I do think that's a lot of hope. We're not really seeing any strong links. And now that you splash the cash on Rasmus Hojlund, I do not see that. I do not see that happening at all, bro. All attentions for United now on that defensive midfield spot. Amrabat, the one who's being linked with you guys. I haven't got any news on him today. Otherwise, I'd go into it a bit more. And Mange thinks Kane will 100% go to Bayern Munich. I'm sure that Kane is 100% in on the Bayern Munich project. But will Daniel Levy and Tottenham allow him to make that move? That's the biggest stumbling block, of course. Kane will want to go. He'll get to prove himself in the Champions League, get to win a league title, get trophies to his name, which is what he's been banded around him all the time. I do it for banter. For Tottenham, because I'm an Arsenal fan, of course I'm going to do it to Tottenham, but in all honesty, it's not Kane's fault. It's not Kane's fault why he plays for England, who can't win an international trophy. And of course, people say, yeah, well, he's been a part of that failure. Didn't score the penalty against France, etc., etc. But for Tottenham, no, you can't drag that team. This is a problem within Tottenham Football Club that we all know. And if he leaves, 100% he'll win the Bundesliga. Sorry, and he'll have a higher possibility of winning the Champions League. Also, I do believe. Let's have a look in here. You guys, I can see the Man United fans in the chat talking about their chances of winning the league. This is what I love about the community. You have your own conversations in there. Peony, don't mention Kane missing a penalty. England penalty challenge impossible. As he mentioned it. Let me have a scroll up. I have fond memories of that time Harry Kane thought he was playing rugby and knocked out England. Yeah, I knew it would have been in there. Brush in the building says if Kane ends up staying for any reason, then it's open season come January. And for Spurs, oh boy, if they don't decide to sell for a reasonable price, which I think 90 million should be reasonable for a player that's got a year left on his contract, that according to reports has made it known to Tottenham that he's not going to be extending his deal, then Man United looking to get conversations going. You can't sign him on a pre-contract. Only clubs outside of England can legally sign him on a pre-contract. But hey, we know how the game works nowadays, guys. All it needs is a Man United, a Chelsea, possibly even Arsenal. I know it's a long shot. Sol Campbell did it. So what's stopping Harry Kane? But yeah, definitely favourites in England. Arsenal, I wish. Man United, Chelsea. What's stopping them from talking to him, saying, Kane, wait it out. We can offer you this big, massive signing on bonus. However, Man United might be a lot further in the project at that time, where they are a dangerous club in the Champions League, and they're really proving and building under Eric Ten Hag. Chelsea, or with Pochettino, reuniting him with his probably favorite manager that he's had. Last season was his best goal scoring season for Tottenham, but one of his better seasons, and where he really developed and became this top player was under Maurizio Pochettino, with the ambitions that Chelsea have. We've seen them splash the cash. They're not going to stop anytime soon if they're anywhere near the Champions League places. Hey, I know it's a mad thing. I know it's a mad one, and we got a few Liverpool fans in here, but hey, if he's on a free, what's stopping Liverpool from potentially having a word? You know, they can invest all that money. If Liverpool are further along and solidified that midfield, Harry Kane, you know, push you for that league. I know Liverpool are stacked in the attack already, but if you want to be ruthless, if you want to be the best, you keep on going. We'll talk about David Raya at Arsenal, potentially. So there's a lot of the open season indeed, Rush. The options open up vastly for him. And even Real Madrid. Could you imagine Real Madrid and Mbappe and Kane? On both on free. On a free. Mbappe and Kane. Yeah, it's a madness. Big up vibes in the building saying Kane is the best striker in the world. Bayern will make it happen. I do agree with you there. I do think he's the best all-round striker in the world. Haaland's going to be taking that. And Man City fans and Haaland, come on. He scored so many goals. Haaland's the best finisher in the world. But Kane, whatever you need, left foot, right foot, headed goals, dropping deep, pinging passes out to your left winger, creativity. He's got it all from that striking position. Let's have a look. Orban for Tottenham would be a great rotation option, though. Kid has potential. Beat Raw. Yeah, he's more of a that. If you was bringing in a gift Orban, you would want him to dovetail with Kane, so that you can bring him, play him out wide, and really learn and develop his game off of Kane. But if you're Tottenham, you don't want him to be your Kane replacement, your marquee signing, because for a player like that, you're setting him up to fail, essentially. You can't replace a Kane like Kane, especially when you're in Tottenham's position. No European football at all. The market for strikers, we've seen Rasmus Hojlund, 75 million euros plus 10 million in add-ons. That's what's going about. If that's what Man United are paying for, because there's not many options out there, and he's one of the best out of a limited-ish bunch, and a massive risk in that sense to be paying that much money on him. We'll see whether it pays off or not. Then it's a struggle for Tottenham. It really is, and partly why I think and I predict if I had to put money on it, he stays. United will surprise people this season. We just don't know how yet, Peony. So he's covering all bases by saying that. He's saying if Man United do well, they're surprising a lot of people. But if Man United fail, they've surprised their own fans. But no, I like how you've done that there. You got all bases covered. Big up G in the building. Hope you're keeping good and well in the place as here. United for Kane loan, Rasmus out to Spurs. Yeah, that wouldn't happen. Yeah, that just won't happen. Not after the money you spent on him, Casey. Maybe in a football manager or career mode. What's this? When you're ready, I've got my $200 €200 or dollars. I can send it to Tereak to be the holder. When you're ready, it's okay. Just pocket change. If you lose, you still win because United wins. Or what? Are you on about beating us this season? You're not finishing above us. I'm telling you that now. Big up Moss in the building as well, saying what's up to Talkers. Hope you're good. Listen to Nav right there. Smash the likes. Peony thinks that Kane's going to Bayern as well. So a lot of you think he will end up there in the chat. Let's grab a few more before we move on into our next topic, which I will talk about the Romeo Lavia situation, Romeo Lavia at Liverpool, and talk about Liverpool as a whole and their summer window, because I do think it's an interesting topic and very split across the Liverpool fan base in terms of their thoughts and opinions on that. But before we do, let's have a few more. Big up Bargav in the place. Interesting situation with a buyback clause. Effectively, he will publicly have to decline Tottenham. So Bargav, yes, this has been rumors that have been flying about. What Bargav just mentioned here, that Spurs want to implement a buyback clause, and for Kane after 2 years. I'm not sure on the length when they can activate it, but they are asking for a buyback clause from Bayern Munich so that you can go win trophies, and Tottenham are hoping that they'll be in a better position so they can bring Kane back and then he can eventually take them to the promised land for Spurs, which is winning a trophy, but the major ones, of course, which Harry Kane is good enough to certainly win. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Bayern Munich aren't going to agree to those terms, especially when in less than 6 months' time they can turn around and say, "Yeah, actually, no, we'll sign you on a free. We'll kick the can down the road and get you in the summer." Although he is 30, but I still think that's not really a major issue for a player of Kane's quality in the Bundesliga. Kane happening then, lads. Let me know your thoughts. Kane is not worth what we paid for Rasmus. Trust me, 20 games, 9 goals, and 11 assists. Imagine what he will do when he's the focal point and not the support striker. Okay, so are you backing Rasmus Hojlund there? Are you saying that Rasmus Hojlund is the one who will be able to kick Man United on further? And he's still young. What is he, like 20 years of age? 9 goals, 11 assists. I've seen a lot being made about that. When he's so young, he can grow, he can develop, just as long as he has the raw tools to work with. He's got the height, he's got the movement in the box, and he's got the speed to play in the Premier League, which is massive too. Whilst thinking about Kane's move, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Just quickly off the dome. I know it's completely random, guys, but this is Tweet Talks. We do this a lot. My favorite ice cream flavor, off the top of my head, I like mint chocolate. I know it's a controversial one. Mint chocolate ice cream is one of my favorites. Pistachio is also good. Oreo flavored. Kane's overrated, says Bargav in the building. Big up BX as well, says just subscribed. Hope you're keeping good. Thank you, man. Really do appreciate you there as well. And people in TTF, welcome him. What's good? I hope you're doing good as well. It's the history of Tottenham, says Wilf. Kane's not overrated. 30 goals, 9 assists in the Premier League alone last season. 110%. 17 penalties. Hey, penalties count as goals. Penalties count as goals, my bro. You know what I mean? They still does happen. We'd be stupid not to go for him next season, says G. And from a Liverpool standpoint, absolutely. If it's on a free, it suits what FSG, the type of model that they're building as well. So hey, we definitely need you guys it would be great for you guys. We don't need you guys to take him because we've already got enough rivals for the title. Hard enough beating Man City, let alone a Liverpool, Man United with Harry Kane. But yeah, guys, we'll move on into the next topic now, which is Romeo Lavia. Fabrizio Romano also spoke about this earlier, and there's a lot of confidence from the Liverpool Liverpool journalists, the credible ones, the well-sourced ones, that they believe that they will land Romeo Lavia. So Fabrizio Romano tweeted earlier, Liverpool have submitted a new bid for Romeo Lavia as expected. It's the bid of £42 million. So it's a lot closer to what the Southampton want, but there's still no agreement because they want the 50 million. And they're quite adamant on that. It will be formally rejected soon, as they insist on that. Negotiations remain ongoing. Clubs remain in contact as Lavia wants the move. So we know Lavia is going to take that. Of course, he is from Southampton in the Championship to Liverpool, a club with their stature at such a young age, who need to replace midfielders with Fabinho and Henderson out the door. Lavia, one of the top prospects in midfield in and around his age group. A Belgium international, Kevin De Bruyne, is speaking about him so highly, and a lot of Man City fans, scouts, and the coaching staff in the academy really rate this kid. And it was his move to go to Southampton. It was his prerogative to make that move. And he wanted to get first team football, prove himself in the Premier League. And although Southampton got relegated in those big games against Arsenal, against Chelsea, at Manchester United, he was phenomenal and one of the best players on the pitch at such a young age. Real top prospect, and Liverpool want to bring him into their midfield as they look to reinvigorate that defensive area and that defensive part of the pitch. However, this is their third bid now. So the next bid that they will put in will most likely be the last, whether it gets agreed or not. I'm sure the fact that Liverpool have put around 42 million, 45 plus 5 in add-ons shouldn't be a problem, especially now Liverpool's desperation to kind of sort that out, unless they look for alternatives. I will be honest here, guys. I want to hear your thoughts, Liverpool fans, in the chat, or non-Liverpool fans. What are your thoughts on Liverpool's transfer window? I've been disappointed. I will be frank. I have been disappointed because we're just over a week now into the season. Liverpool, I've known about this midfield issue that they've needed to sort out for a long time. They were well before the window opened, linked with the likes of Caicedo. They were interested in the likes of Enzo Fernandez, and of course the man Jude Bellingham. That was their main project going into this year's season anyway. From 12 months ago when they were trying to buy Tchouaméni, got rejected. Oh, that's okay. Liverpool fans thought that's okay because we'll be getting Bellingham. Of course, that didn't work out. How Klopp spun it is that they need to sign players in other positions. They need to buy so many players in that midfield. They kind of put all their funds on Bellingham. Although I will be honest as well, they did not expect Saudi Arabia to become such a thing. Otherwise, I think they would have put all that cash down if they had known Fabinho was going to leave, Henderson was going to leave to Saudi Arabia. There wouldn't have really been any suitors that could have afforded them in and around Europe for the money that they eventually sold them on for. So they'll probably be kicking themselves for not going hard on Bellingham in the end. Bringing in a Szoboszlai, attacking midfielder, can add goals, creativity. Yeah, that's good. Is that really what they were desperate? Not for me. But yeah, it's another source of goals and creativity. So yeah, that's good. McAllister, shrewd signing, buying him on that release clause with a decent amount of add-ons on there. But yeah, shrewd signing, good midfielder. So there's one, two maybe that you could say. I was still thinking, even with a Fabinho there, even with a Henderson there, they needed at least two more midfielders. So now they've sold Fabinho and Henderson, and the only real name that we're seeing going into the season, sorry people, Let me sort that out. Sorry, that's not quite nice to look at, is it? Let me just sort this out here, people. Apologies. But yeah, going into the new season, Liverpool weren't expecting to lose those players. Not just the quality of a Fabinho and Henderson, but the experience in that Fabinho and Henderson both hold as well. Losing that leadership in that side and replacing it with Lavia, just giving him the big talk right there in terms of his ability. But with a 19-year-old who has had one season in the Premier League, bringing in him as your holding midfielder in a place that you struggled with Fabinho and Henderson last season. And then the talks on Kefram Turam, a lot quieter. The talks on Manu Kone, gone dead silent. I think it's a problem. I know you've got Stefan Pajcetic, young player again. You can't rely on Thiago to stay fit. And who knows if he'll even be here by the end of the window. We've still got plenty of moves that could potentially happen towards the end. There was rumours about him leaving for Saudi Arabia at one point. I see that as unlikely now, given the sales that they've made. But you can't rely on him from a fitness standpoint. I think they look incredibly threadbare in that area. And they already struggled to stop conceding goals last season. They haven't improved in their defense as of yet. And that was Liverpool's issue. It weren't scoring goals. It was stopping them going in that end. Having Alisson pull you out week after week and making save after save, being their player of the season. Boy, Liverpool fans, let me know. Do you think you have improved? Because I don't. And I don't think you have improved. And I was looking into it going into this season. I think Liverpool would challenge. I thought Liverpool would come back and they would, how they ended the season was the Liverpool of old, winning, thrashing teams, scoring goals, looking more solid defensively. But this transfer window is making me believe otherwise. I initially put them in a title race. But hey, I'm leaning towards a top 4 race right now. I'll obviously go into it more in the predictions as maybe they'll be closer. I'm sure they will be closer towards securing Lavia. But I'm projecting as if they've got Lavia already, adding him into that midfield. Still not enough. Not enough for me. And that's why I see some such split in the fan base of Liverpool fans who aren't happy with their transfer window. And I'm inclined to agree. Indeed. Let's have a look into here. This chat is moving mad. Man said Nunez and Cavani better than Kane. No way. Let's have a look. There's plenty going on in here at the moment. Yep, we'll talk about Kudus and Raya. Well, we'll definitely speak about Raya. I haven't really heard any news on Kudus. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about Arsenal at some point. Big up my bro Moss in here. Man says Southampton B trying to buy Southampton player again. No surprises there. But you know what? I forgot about that. It's we're that used to it now. It's been desensitized so much. Liverpool buying Southampton's players. Yeah, just completely overlooked it. Really says I'll be over the moon if they don't get a DM. I feel a disturbance in force. Probably. I thought Man City have a buyback on Lavia. They do, Casey. They do, but that doesn't activate until next summer. This is why they're asking for 50 million, because Man City have a buyback of 40 million. And they've said, hey, those of you that are interested in Lavia who aren't Man City, you better come get him now, because Man City will be knocking on that door next summer. Even if they bought Lavia just to sell him on for profit, because they could do that. If he's a Man City asset, he's worth more and he's more valuable because he's at Manchester City. Calvin Phillips hasn't worked out, so he could even come in as a replacement for Rodri and come into that midfield. So, hey, who knows? But yeah, that's why Liverpool are so adamant on getting it addressed now. Klopp needed a midfield rebuild. They have got a lot already. So they have 3 if they get Lavia. So it's not bad for them. But considering options they were looking at, it's disappointing. Yeah, exactly. And I agree with your point there. Of course, Lavia is a good signing, good for the future. But I'm talking about the short term. For Liverpool, that's not good. That is not good for the short term. Yes, the Champions League, what is in 5 places now, so it's the top 5, and Liverpool, because of their historical, their historical credit, whatever they call it, whatever the UEFA are allowing teams to get in the Champions League, they're most likely to get it if they do finish 5th, because their history within the competition. Liverpool's transfer window has been shockingly poor, says Wilf, especially considering who's left and where they need to strengthen. I'm inclined to agree with you, Wilf. It has been poor. It has been indeed. Let me know otherwise. If you think otherwise, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, and we can chop it up. Because a lot of the people in the chat right now aren't liking this Liverpool window, unless you're a Man United fan, which a lot of them are. It will be interesting to see how Klopp does in this proper rebuild. Can he do it? There's all those questions are getting thrown at impacts. Those questions were thrown at him because of what happened at Dortmund. He wasn't able to complete the rebuild there. He was hearing, that's because of how Dortmund operate, the finances, the stranglehold that Bayern Munich have on that league, etc., etc. Okay, then now in the Premier League, where all these clubs, every club has a lot of money to work with. Liverpool, Champions League winners in recent years, Premier League winners, competing for the best trophies, attracting all these sponsorships now with Nike, giving them a long-term contract. Okay, then let's see the ambition. FSG simply don't want that. And I do feel like they have lowered the expectations of the club. This is quite harsh, and I do feel like if you shouldn't really be happy about this as a Liverpool fan. I've seen Man United sign Paul Pogba in the Europa League. I've seen Arsenal sign Gabriel Jesus from the Champions in the Europa League. I've seen Arsenal make big signings whilst being in the Europa League, and we're not a club that operates like a Man United, like a Man City or a Chelsea. I've seen it happen. So, I need to see big moves from Liverpool to really put them in that title shot for this year, but we'll get more into those on the predictions next week. Bellingham rejecting them was a blessing in disguise because they got more players. But remember, they sacrificed midfield signings last summer because they all thought Bellingham was done. And this is 2 summers in a row now where they've been lied to by whoever. Was it Bellingham? Was it? I know you're running for agendas, of course, Man United. It's the same way I do it to Tottenham. But was it the owners? Was it the club that are lying to the fans again and lying to Klopp even? Or is Klopp lying to... there's liars in here. It's just trying to work them out. There might be more than one. So, yeah. Big up yourself, Moss, in here. He says Yankees is the issue there, Tereak. He hates it when I wear this Yankees cap. I need a black Blue Jays one, but I don't think they do a black Blue Jays one, do they? They got a red one and a blue one. Liverpool's system is a 3-2-2-3. Well, yeah, in possession, where Trent goes higher up in midfield. It remains to be seen whether it can work. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see now in the Premier League. These teams do source these out very quickly. And yeah, Liverpool have to be like what they were a couple of seasons ago, and what they were for that long stretch of that. Bulletproof. Yes, you know what they're doing, but you can't stop it. Can they get back to those levels with the intensity that they had under Klopp? Getting rid of those older legs is a positive in that sense, because they did have a lot of mileage on the clock, but you've got no experience, and they had that in abundance managing out these situations. Yeah, it will be interesting that Liverpool as well. Let's hear what you're all saying. So, people, if you haven't done so already, smash that like button. We've got quite a few of you here. Subscribe if you're new. We've got a wonderful Tereak Talks community, bringing plenty of transfer shows, Arsenal shows as an Arsenal fan, Premier League predictions coming up. You'll love it. I promise you. Hey, if I'm wrong, you can unsubscribe next week. But definitely as well. I'm sure you will. There is a suspicion from at least one. Paxson breaking other news into that here. I think we've hit everything. Bellingham has never come to Liverpool. There was a lot of belief on a real Liverpool has a better chance of finishing top 6 than Chelsea. Mark coming in with some hot takes in here. Some seriously hot ones. Big up yourself, Red Devil Yannick in the building. And Luke is in here. The 5th place is conditional for CL. It's not guaranteed. Yes, well pointed out, Luke, because I think that's a misconception that, including myself and a lot of other fans are having. I think with Liverpool circumstances and how their historical achievements throughout the competition, if they finish 5th, they most likely get it. Whereas if we finish 5th because we haven't won it, we don't necessarily get it. I think we have less chances of getting to the Champions League than if Liverpool do. Just simply by historical merit. That's what it is. It's based on national coefficiency ranking, i.e., how all Premier League clubs perform in Europe. Oh, there you go. Interesting. Thanks for that, Luke. So we've spoken about Harry Kane. Thoughts on that? Get in the comments. Lavia and Liverpool. I don't think they've had a good window. Let me know your thoughts. If I'm wrong, let me know. But yeah, everyone in the chat too. We got a couple more, and then we'll play a little game at the end, people. What we on 47? We'll talk about Vlahovic, Juventus, possibly. So Chelsea. This was also broken by Fabrizio Romano as well. It weren't. The other news was broken by like David Ornstein too, but I'm just reading Fabrizio Romano's tweets because basically he tweets them out every 2 seconds. So yeah, it's easier to keep up. It genuinely is. And with Chelsea, he tends to have a lot of connections, weird sort of connections, but yeah, he does. But with Chelsea, they are discussing internally about Dusan Vlahovic. They did reject a move for Dusan Vlahovic earlier in the window, but now they're starting to consider it because Juventus can't meet the financial the figure that Chelsea want for Romelu Lukaku. They've offered Dusan Vlahovic. He's open to the move. Juventus want that to happen. So will Chelsea? Chelsea are now thinking, is this worth it? We've got Nico Jackson, who's just had a pre-season, a dream start to his Chelsea career in the pre-season, scoring goals, showing tech, holding up the ball well, doing everything that Chelsea have lacked in a central striker since Diego Costa. So the Dusan Vlahovic move is something that they are considering. Does it Chelsea to have players of the quality of Dusan Vlahovic and Nico Jackson long term makes sense? Yeah, and that's what you want when you've got that's what you want when you've got that competition. It will push each one further going forward. In terms of this season, the minutes, because Chelsea are not in multiple competitions, they're in just the domestic cup competitions, no Europe for them. I don't know why my camera's not focusing on me. Focus. That's just made it worse. Okay, it's back now. But yeah, is the value for money, if it's 25 million, which is being the figure that's banded around, let's take it, because it's an opportunity. Even if he doesn't bang, Chelsea sell well. Chelsea know how to make sales. Even if he doesn't perform well, he's still got a lot of suitors in and around Europe, even within the Premier League. Arsenal wanted him previously. Man United have been linked with him too. And he'll have plenty of suitors in and around Europe because of his time at Fiorentina. I think it makes sense if for that, but in a football point of view, business, it makes sense. But football, I'm unsure. It's hard. I'm really sitting on the fence on this. Getting rid of Lukaku, getting him off the wage, but massive, brilliant. But then bringing in Vlahovic, is that an improvement? Is that an improvement on Lukaku, though, guys? You can't outright say it is, because you cannot question a man in terms of numbers. I know we didn't quite hit them with Inter Milan this year, but he's had an injury-ravaged season, like Dusan Vlahovic. But Lukaku before that, Serie A, goals galore, winning the Scudetto with Inter Milan under Antonio Conte, scoring goals in the Premier League for Everton, Man United, Chelsea, not really Chelsea, but Man United and Everton, West Brom. He's done that for years. Proven goal scorer. Chelsea, if they get a Vlahovic in, that puts them, unless they sell him next summer, which would indicate that Vlahovic is a failure. puts them out of that market for potentially for Osimhen, potentially for an Evan Ferguson, because they like to deal with Brighton, potentially for a striker that they do want in the long term. The market becomes a lot more interesting next summer. Kane, even, which we mentioned earlier, you can't get him if you got Vlahovic and that in there. Man, I don't think they should do this. I do like Nico Jackson. I do like him. Armando Broja, another striker that they want to blood and get back to his full fitness. Of course, at some point in the season, he can provide a rotation option. And Kunku, even if you're desperate, and then they've still got the likes of Dacho Fofana out there on loan. I'm genuinely, I'd say no if I'm Chelsea. I like what you've got. You don't want to bring too many cooks in the kitchen can spoil the broth. You saw that happen at your club last season, Chelsea, and I don't think he's of the level to be moving like this. The fact that you don't think he's at the level, you rejected the opportunity to sign him earlier in the window, and now you're discussing it again. Hey, those doubts and the fact that you're hesitating is an issue, Chelsea. You should. That's a red flag right there. Let's see what you're saying in the chat about this Vlahovic thing, and then we'll talk about David Raya, and then we'll play a little game at the end. Vlahovic is not physical though, and he tends to drop off in games. He's got the physical traits. He's 6'3". I do think he's a physical striker. He's good at hold up. He's not amazing. He's not the perfect striker in terms of hold up play, but he's got the potential to be much better. And when I'm watching for Juventus, he's not too bad. He's struggled a lot with injuries. Juventus in general have been very inconsistent in games, though, Mark. So it's hard to really judge a striker on that when they're not getting as much service as they should. And he's not the type of striker that's going to create a chance out of nothing like that. Lukaku has been a nightmare for Chelsea, so why not get a younger striker in that can do a job? Yeah, I hear what you're saying. He's better. Well, he's a better fit because he's younger and someone who actually wants to be there. But doing a job, is that enough for Chelsea in the long term? Is it enough? If they don't really believe in him, I'd say no. I really would. And then I think Chelsea could, they're good enough to get back into Europe for next season to push for them places with the squad the strikers and the defenders that they have, not necessarily midfielders. That's an area they still need to work on. So yeah, they need to sort out their priorities first before getting another striker in, I'd say. But that's a negative because training ground play doesn't quite equate to competition play. I'm not too sure what you mean there, but yeah, Moss has said in here, Taremi, Tejan Buchanan, Jonathan David, Osimhen, Kvaradona, any new rumours? Just in terms of those players, I haven't seen any. Osimhen he'd like a move to the Premier League. That's why he's reluctant to go to Saudi Arabia. No news on Kvaradona, unreliable sources. I've just done that. Yeah, that's not happening with Arsenal. Last I heard, if any club finished 5th, they would be relying on other Premier League teams in Europe to performing well to qualify. So it's based upon how your country is doing in the European competition itself. I get you. So that's a bit mad. Big up Lil Yo-Yo in the building, saying Chelsea are the most flip-flop team this summer window. Absolutely. And if they do get Vlahovic, that's the epitome of flip-flopping after you've said no to him and then go and get him again. Vlahovic can develop into a better striker than what he is right now. Get him a proper coach, and Mauricio Pochettino is a proper coach that's got a proven track record in improving strikers, big physical ones. He even done it with, was it Graziano Pella? Did he have Pella as well? Yeah, I'm sure he did. He did a good job with him. And then they had, Harry Kane, of course. Big up Fads in the building saying FPL, there's Fads in the building. Chelsea buying everyone but Caicedo, even Ugo Chukwu, Leslie Ugo Chukwu, and sending him out on loan. Eli Wahi, that's another striker they want, and they want to send him out on loan. Big up my brother Rich in the building saying big up everyone. Hope you're all blessed. Hope you do. R2, his bros are any good? He's quality. He suffered a big injury to his knee last season. in a friendly against Aston Villa. That was in that World Cup break. So yeah, he's still on the road to recovery there. Probably won't see the best of him for another half of the season. Maybe in the whole season, he might need to recover. Poch didn't want him in June. So exactly, what would you want him now? You already got Nico Jackson who's doing the bits. Listen to Rich right here. Smash the like button, ladies and gents. Raya agreed personal terms with Arsenal, and that's what the next bit of news I was going to talk. Thank you, Fads, because this is the final bit of news. Then we'll play a quick game at the end, people, because I've got to jump on another stream as well. But David Raya has agreed personal terms. People, let me share the screen with you on this one because it's Arsenal. And yeah, so this was an hour ago. Let me share the screen with you people on this. I'm loving it. Fabrizio Romano tweeted an hour ago that Arsenal have agreed have an agreement in principle with David Raya on the personal terms. Brentford have been informed by the player's side that he wants to join Arsenal, and talks between clubs over formula price are now expected to accelerate. Guys, I have given you my thoughts and opinions in the last video that's on the channel. Go and check that out, please. Please do. I'll go in much more depth about it. And the potential that Arteta could be one of the first to have two top goalkeepers, like that are proven top goalkeepers, and for it to really work and prove successful. There is generally a time span on this of 2 years. But Manchester City, I've said it already, guys, they won the treble thanks to Stefan Ortega. If Zach Steffen's in goal, they do not win that treble. It's as simple as that. They couldn't win it with Zach Steffen in goal when he was in that game against Liverpool. He made 2 massive errors. Liverpool were able to win the game in the FA Cup semi-final. And Ortega, a lot of Manchester City fans at the beginning of the season were saying, from what they saw from his performances in friendlies, from what they saw in the early cup competitions with the Carabao Cup, he should be taking Ederson's spot. Ederson was on the decline, a bit like, or not necessarily decline, but his development stagnated. Yeah. Ederson, Ortega comes in. What happens? Bang. Ederson ups his game. You saw him in the Champions League final. And there you go. He kept his place. That's what Raya could do with Ramsdale. If Ramsdale fails, David Raya comes in. He starts. Little yo-yo in the building right there. Ederson was moving a little shaky until he came in. And you're a Man United fan, Manchester United fans into the chat right now. What was the best year? What was one of the best seasons you had David De Gea? Who was the backup goalkeeper? Sergio Romero, who a lot of United, who was highly rated. I think the best you saw of De Gea was when he had a solid backup goalkeeper behind him. Exactly. Sergio Romero. And how good was he? You don't win the Europa League. It was massive in that. Romero. Remember this. He's a quality goalkeeper that was good enough to start for a lot of Premier League clubs. And the same goes for Ortega. The same goes for, I know, Claudio Bravo and Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Yes, it doesn't last long. It generally doesn't have a long shelf life. But guys, top players push top players to do better. Big up my brother in the building, Roland, saying, "Hey, yo, someone sub right now. Rebuke the sub count. It's on 666." Big up my brother. A lot of people smash the like button in there. But Argentina's number 1 at some point. He was. Stecklenburg, was he? Who was he back up for? Was he Everton? Was it Southampton? I think he was. Sergio Romero, the goal. Chelsea also with Kepa and Sanchez soon. The best that we saw of Edouard Mendy was when they had 2 goalkeepers there. Yes, you can class whether they're top or not, but around the same level. Guys, there has been cases where it has been proven. It's not common. It doesn't happen throughout every team. But in nowadays, the best goalkeeping performance are pushed by a good backup goalkeeper. Liverpool, even Liverpool, yeah. You look at Alisson and Kelleher levels, but Liverpool really fans, if you talk to them about Kelleher, they really rate him. They really do. Rock on. Ter Stegen looked great during the record attendance of the El Clasico in Dallas, Texas. And Barcelona like having strong backups. They also had Silerson, Bravo. There's the ones. Iker Casillas with Diego Lopez. I'm on this. I know. Bro, Roland brought that off into there. Hey, someone sub right now. Listen to the man. No, I'm on a danger sub. T running late. I know I am running late. Guys, I wanted to play. I want to play a game with you. I wanted to play a game with you, but I've got to run. I will play it again. I will be playing it for you tomorrow, guys. Arsenal Monaco reaction stream coming later on tomorrow. I've got it scheduled for 10 o'clock. It might be earlier. That's the latest it will be at 10 o'clock, which is late for a lot of you guys, I know. But I will be doing a reaction to that. Sorry, I can't bring you a watch along. I won't be in the house watching it, but I definitely will be watching the game. So I will be there Really says play the game. Play the game. Okay. Really is giving me permission to go and run and play the game. Let's run it in quickly. 15. Do it. Come on. There you go. Perfect. Thank you. He's giving me 15 minutes to do so. Thank you, realist in that building. So let's have a look. This is the game. I'm sure you guys have seen it on Twitter. I'm sure you have seen it on Twitter. But if you haven't done so, follow me on Twitter. Link is also in the description. I need to share my screen with you all right now. And I want you to play with me. It's basically called Crossover Grid. Have you seen it before, guys? Let me change the background. Let me change the background in here. Make sure this is all a little bit better. The orange one. Yeah, makes it look a little bit clearer. So, guys, you're looking at this. If you've never seen this before, if you've never played it before, what this is a grid. So if you've ever worked with like an Excel spreadsheet or Google spreadsheet, whatever it has there, these are the clubs and the nations that you've got in the box. So the top X and Y axis, so the top and the ones at the side link. So you have to, in this box, essentially, you have to think of a player who has played for Everton or Chelsea. In the next box there, you have to think of a player that's played for Everton and Liverpool. And in the next box down there, you have to think of a player that's played for Everton and West Ham, Aston Villa, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Aston Villa, West Ham, a Brazilian that's played for Chelsea, Brazilian that's played for Liverpool, Brazilian that's played for West Ham, etc. Right there. Do you understand it? Do you get it, guys? Should we do the first one together? Because I'm going to show you my thought process. This is just a game. This is just for a little fun. I wanted to see what your guys' thoughts and feelings are on that. Let me know if you are any good at these things. And if you don't understand, I'll try and explain it a bit better. I didn't do a great job. But a player that's played for Everton and Chelsea. Also, if you think of the most obscure ones, it's better. The more obscure that they are, the better it is. So instantly, Everton and Chelsea. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to think of a player. Lukaku, there you go. Someone who we mentioned earlier in the stream. Casey, big up yourself each and every time. It's a great shout. Lukaku. I think that's a popular one. I'm gonna wait for a little bit on here. That's a great shout though, Casey. If we are running low on time. Ross Barkley says Moss. Sorry, Moss, I didn't see that. I think that's a good shout, Ross Barkley. Indeed, I like it, guys. Moss and Casey have gone for Ross Barkley and Lukaku. Ross Barkley a little bit more obscure, I'd say. Anyone else? Shankly played for Chelsea and Everton. Yes, Barkley, Moss. Yeah, indeed. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go for Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley, 25%. That's decent. If you can get down to a single figure. Oh, little yo-yo, Christian Atsu. I forgot. He would have been a great one. He would have been a great one to have too. But yeah, Ross Barkley's a good one. Aston Villa, Chelsea. Anyone that springs to mind off the top of the head? It's harder when I'm doing it on a live stream. Aston Villa and Chelsea. Who's got? Is anyone gone there recently? Any goalkeepers, defenders? I'm struggling on this. Chukwuemeka? Carney Chukwuemeka? It's a shout. Stephen Staunton, Villa and Liverpool. Hey, he's already sorted one there. Oh, there's a few more for Villa, Liverpool. Gary Cahill, John Terry, Carney Chukwuemeka. I like that one. Villa. I can give you Villa, Liverpool. You got James Milner. Yeah, Gareth Barry should have been one. James Milner's the one that I think of. What comes to mind? Benteke is what. You know what? I'm going to slap Benteke in there. What would Benteke be? Christian Benteke. 13%. I'll take that. Danny Drinkwater. He's played for what? Which one was I doing? Villa and Chelsea. Yeah, I like the Chukwuemeka one. I think that one is going to be Carney. That's his brother there, Caleb. Carney Chukwuemeka. 15%. No, I'm not great. Everton, Liverpool. They've had quite a few. I'm sure. Well, yeah, that I'm sure that path's actually a more trodden path than you think. In all fairness, Everton, Liverpool. Ooh, I think has it's not been happening. It's not none of this happened recently, though, has it? Oh, actually, I'm struggling on that one. I'm struggling. Let me go to Everton, West Ham. Everton, West Ham. I feel like this has been a well-trodden path. Also, Zuma. Kurt Zuma, bang. Give me 49%. That was a high one. That was a high one indeed. I just thought of Kurt Zuma right there. Let me see. Staunton is who I went for. Moss, I have no idea who that is. Nick Barmby, I know Barmby. Connor Cody. Oh, Connor Cody, yes. Pat Nevin, Don Hutchinson. Bro, whoa, what? How you knowing about that? Danny Ings for Villa and West Ham. Shout indeed. Speedy David. West Ham, Tony Cottee. West Ham, Everton. Yes, that would have been a good one, Luke. That would have been a low percentage one also. Hey, I like it. You guys have got better answers than me in the chat. I went Kurt Zuma. And yeah, it weren't great. But that one there, Connor Cody. Let's have a look. Choose Connor Cody. 53%. This isn't going to be a good score this week, guys. Aston Villa, West Ham. Aston Villa, West Ham. Danny Ings. That was what was said in the chat. Henry Lansbury. Did he play for West Ham? Was it in the Championship? He played for West Ham. Mark Bosnich. Yes. It was also a good one. Really, Scott Hutchinson on mine. Oh my days. You guys are smashing this. Yeah, you said Danny Ings, Mosh. You did indeed. Great shouts. Danny Ings is the one that springs to mind for me. Anyone else? Anyone else that's made that move recently? I can't think. Struggling. Did Stuart Downing? No, he didn't play for West Ham, did he? Stuart Downing. Claret and Blue. Yeah, Danny Ings has played for a lot of teams in Claret and Blue. I'm going to go Danny Ings for the sake of time. Danny Ings. Guys in the chat, you've been amazing help on this. James Collins, 53% again. My word, guys, we are not doing well on this one. Let me zoom in a bit more so that you can see. Okay. Brazil and Chelsea. All right, there's a load here. There's an absolute load. Emerson Palmieri, Lucas Piazon. I'm doing that. Give me Lucas Piazon right there. Boom. 6.2%. I told you I know this. Don't ask me why it came to my mind. Alex. That's a shout right there. Alex. They've had loads. You can put Andre Santos in there now with Angelo Gabriel. But Lucas Piazon. Of course, you picked Catboy. Oscar. Emerson Palmieri. Yes. He was Italian. The fraud. Like Jorginho, though. Yeah, Piazon. Lucas Piazon. Thank you, little yo-yo. Liverpool. Firmino. Coutinho. Fabinho. Everyone who ends in O. Is there any obscure ones? Have you got any ones from like mid 2000s or 90s that were Brazilian? Any defenders? Any Brazilian defenders? No, I don't think so. I don't. Have they had many? Lucas Leiva. Big shout vibes. Anyone else? Fabio Aurelio. Oh, Fabio Aurelio. I think I'm preferring this one now. Yeah. You gotta go obscure. Yeah. That's why I'm choosing the likes of Fabio. Felipe Luis was at Chelsea. Also, shout little yo. Go Fabio. Yeah, Fabio. Aurelio. Yes. 7.3%. Love that. Brazil, West Ham. You got Lucas Paqueta. Hey. Who else? Who else do you have, people? My connection's going mad just at the wrong time as well. Let me have a look, see if it's affecting you. Or is it just my dancing that's caused that? Paqueta. Hey, Felipe Anderson. I like that shout. Indeed. He has to have played for West Ham, Shay. That's the thing. He has to have played for West Ham. So, but Gabriel Jesus, he's never played for West Ham. I feel like there's another one that's played for West Ham recently. But yeah, I'm gonna go for Felipe Anderson, Moss. I like your shout, Felipe Anderson, right there. Felipe Anderson. Boom, 26%. How did I do? Not. Oh, he said 900 then. I was going to be gassed. Oh, man. 246, not good. The lowest I got was what? Was it 6? Did I get 60? I can't remember what the lowest I got was, but I got into double figures. Lukaku was the most common one. Connor Cody, I picked him. West Ham, Kurt Zuma, another one I picked. Chelsea, John Terry, Philip Coutinho, Danny Ings, Lucas Paqueta. Yes, Lucas Leiva and Ramirez. But Lucas Leiva for Liverpool. I'm sure that I'm surprised at that. I am very surprised. But guys, he smashed it there. Yeah, the West Ham Brazil one is tough, not gonna lie. Luisao, has he played for them though? I know he signed for them like last year, but yeah, I don't know if he's played for them. Man, them join us. You listen to Realist. Go over to Realist's channel. Top 10 Premier League wingers of all time. Join it right there. We're going to be discussing that. We went back a few times ago, not as far back as what I'm sure Moss could have went, or Ed or Brush, and then man there, or even Realist could go. And Luke, where can we play this game? Let me get the link for you. I'll dash it in the chat. So you guys would have played this one with me, and it comes out every day at 3:00 in the afternoon in the UK, but 10 a.m. in the morning Eastern. So I've popped the link in the chat. Come over, guys, onto Realist's channel as we're going to go there now. But I really do appreciate you. I want to make this game a daily thing, okay? I want to, whenever we do a stream, we're doing it together. Okay, guys, the streams are going to become daily anyway once the season kicks off. But yeah, we will be there. Guys, I'm going to wrap up now. I'm going to love and leave you. Join us on Realist's channel, top 10 Premier League wingers of all time. I will be there. We will be there together. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and we are out. So, peace.